So good afternoon people, and welcome once again to Cooking on the Corsican. You join us here on the second day of our holiday, which is apart from the weekend. It was just our normal weekend. This is now the Tuesday of our holiday. I don't know what date it is, the 20-something of May. But this is the second. We're with some friends and we're having a Mexican night tonight. So I am making enchiladas. Now, enchiladas, very simple. You need to make this. This is a typical paste, a typical mix that the Mexicans use, and I'll tell you what's in it. It's got chili powder in it, okay? 1 tablespoonful of chili powder. It's got 1 tablespoonful of smoked, must be smoked paprika. It's got 1 tablespoonful of ground cumin, okay? It's got a teaspoonful of thyme. It's got a teaspoonful of coriander. And it's got half a teaspoonful of cayenne pepper. Okay? Now, if you remember those amounts, you can make a larger batch. And you can make it up, and you can put it in a sealed container like this, and you can keep it, because it's an absolute brilliant thing as a rub on. You can use it as like a dry marinade, a rub on things like chicken wings, ribs, lamb, anything like that. You're going to barbecue it in like that. Absolutely brilliant. You know, get some nice chicken wings and rub that on there, or thighs or anything, and leave it 24 hours in the fridge, or 48, as long as you can. The longer the better, and that's a beautiful rub. But anyway, let's get on with the enchiladas. This is the Mexican powder which I've made up. And with enchiladas, you need to do a sauce. You need to make a sauce first. And I am going to make my sauce. Starting off with 2 teaspoonfuls of olive oil. Okay. So I've 2 teaspoonfuls of olive oil in there. And in here I've got 1 enormous onion. And I've got 1 big fat clove of smoked garlic. Lovely. I always say it when we're frying onions, we need a bit of salt to bring out the juices of the onions. In here I've got half a teaspoonful of salt and half a teaspoonful of black pepper. No butter, not required. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry these onions off for about 8 minutes or so until they're lovely and translucent. Okay, I'm not going to put you through the agony of that, so I'm going to take a break. I'm going to just sit here, I'm going to keep frying these onions, and then I'm going to bring you back and I'm going to show you how to just finish this sauce off, okay? So, I'll see you when I get back. Fire it up.
Yep.
So welcome back people. It's only took us about 6 minutes, and the onions kind of look in this sort of state, okay? So to the onions, I've opened my Mexican paste powder here, and I am going to add 2 big spoonfuls, and just a bit for my granny, because she would love that, okay? And I'm just going to be honest with you, I'm just going to cook that for a few seconds, just to cook the powder. Can't get my words out with a glass of wine. I tried not to have too much. I've actually had a glass of wine and a margarita. So there you go. So I'm a very naughty boy. Okay, I think that's more than enough. I'm going to add 1 tin of tomatoes. And I'm going to add the same amount. I'm going to fill this tin right up and add the same amount of chicken stock. There we go. I am now going to add I've got a big bunch of coriander and this is the stalks. I'm not wasting them. I've chopped all the stalks up and they are going into the sauce. This is the sauce for the enchiladas that will go on to the beef pat when I've made this sauce. Okay, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to just give this a bit of a stir. I'll just show you me giving this a bit of a stir. And then I'm going to put a lid on it and I'm going to cook this for about, I don't know, I'm going to cook it for about 20 minutes to half an hour. But Steve is now going to take me and he's going to show you our bits and pieces, what we've got around here. He's going to introduce you to our friends. But I'll see you when we get back.
Well, here we have a lovely day at Langley Dyke. And as you know, I'm Steve, the cameraman. And we've got all our Mexican ribbons up and all our hats with our stick-on moustaches for later. Anyway, I'm just going to introduce you to a friend of ours, Alex and Lorna on Braveheart. Good afternoon, guys.
Hi.
How are you getting on with the cooking you're doing?
Oh yeah. Hi.
So they're making, what are you making for the
Fajitas.
They're making fajitas?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And Alex drinking Desperados, which is really good for those that haven't tried it.
So we're going to have a fun afternoon, I'm sure. The weather is beautiful, isn't it, guys? Absolutely.
Scorching, yeah. The reason I'm wearing this is because I'll probably get most of the oil on me. So
they're making their part of it, and we're making the enchiladas. And it's a beautiful day. There's the sun is shining, looking out of their window here. Beautiful day. Couldn't ask for anything more. So there we are, we'll leave it at that and we'll come back to you with the chef Jeff there very shortly.
Okay people, just come back for a few seconds just to show you where we're at. This is the sauce and it's now been on the go for about 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, and that's absolutely fine. So now what you do with the sauce is you put it in a bowl and cover it and put or whatever, put it somewhere where it can cool, and we then get on with the second part, which is making the meat filling, the beef filling, which I'll come back and show you when I've sorted this sauce out and washed this pan up. Okay, so I shall see you when I get back in 2 or 3 minutes. Okay people, we're back, and only after about 5-10 minutes, and all I've done is put my sauce in this pot here that I made and it washed the frying pan, and all I've done, the bit that you haven't seen, is I've just put a pound of steak mince in here with no oil, fat or anything, and I'm just browning it off. But it said no oil, no fat, no nothing, just plain good quality butcher's steak mince. Always go for butcher's mince if you can. Try not to buy that crap out of the supermarket that comes in a square block, because it is rubbish. Always go to your butcher for your mince, is my opinion. Okay, let's get on. Anyway, in the mince, same as before in the other one, I've got half a teaspoonful of salt and half a teaspoonful of black pepper. My mix, my Mexican mix that you saw me making earlier on, exactly the same as before, and exactly the same amount, 2 and a wee bit from my granny. Okay, and that's that. Okay. And I'm just basically going to fry all of that off. I'm going to turn this pan way down low, like that. I'm going to get my coriander, which I've got here, and I'm going to add a little bit of coriander, not much, but that much. And I'm going to get my sauce here that I made, and I'm going to put in about, just about 2 big spoonfuls like that. That's it. There you go. Now that's turned down very, very low, and all I'm going to do with that now is I'm simply going to put a lid on it, very, very low, and I'm going to just cook it for 5 or 10 minutes, and I shall come back. Then I shall come back, but first what I'll do is I'll put it in something to cool, like a bowl or something, and I shall then come back when I'm actually making the enchiladas up and finishing the whole thing off. So in the meantime, if you've been watching, thank you, but don't forget to come back for the next part of this vlog on enchiladas, beef enchiladas. I shall see you when I get back. Thank you. Okay people, the mince that you saw me doing, it's just cooking away very, very, very slow, and what I'm going to do, because I've used as much of this sauce that I want to, the next thing that you need to do is put the rest of this sauce through a processor. So if you remember an earlier vlog, when I bought this little food processor, I am just going to pass the sauce through this little food processor. I don't know if I'll get the whole lot in one go. It would be lovely if I did. Do you know what? I think I'm going to get it in one go. There we go. I'm making sure I get every last bit out the pot, because what do we say on cooking on the Corsican, Steve? We do not like what?
Waste.
That's right. There we go. Get every last bit out. Now I put my little lid on and I hold it very firm. And here I go. I'm just taking my time to start with. Right, let me see how that looks. He says, if you can get the lid off. That seems to have developed a seal. Ah, here I go. There you go, people. And there's the lovely, that's a lovely smooth sauce I want for finishing off the enchiladas. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, you've seen all the parts. The last part will be the building up of the enchilada. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you when we get back. Okay people, we're now back to the last part. So what we've got here is we've got our tortillas, we've got our lovely sauce that we put through the blender. You can see how delicious that is. We've got our grated cheese, we've got coriander, and this is the mince that we made, okay? So this is what you do for the final bit. You get a nice big handful of cheese. Now I'll be honest with you, I did try and get a Mexican cheese, but I went to Morrison's, and quite a big Morrison's, by the way, and they didn't have any Mexican cheese of any kind. So this is just a mature cheddar. That's some coriander. Okay, and all you do is you mix that in. Okay, so all you do. It's really very simple. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of my sauce and I'm going to put a tiny little bit of sauce in there. Sorry, I don't know what happened there, but we're back with you. I've just put a tiny little bit of sauce in here. So that's exactly how I want it to be. Okay. And then the next thing I do is I get my tray, which I'm going to put them in, and I just put a couple of spoonfuls of sauce in my tray. Okay, and just spread it about, just like this. There you are. Nothing fancy. That's all you need to do. Put that tray to one side and get my tortillas. Put the cheese to one side. And I've got 8 tortillas here. Get them to one side. I must have one somewhere else. There's one there. And I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a good one. Probably put a bit more on there. A bit more on there. Okay. A bit more on here. 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 Okay, very simple. Nothing hard in this at all. Kind of thing, by the way, that children might like to do. If you've got kids, you know, they may like to they might like to participate in this part. I put my spoon there. I'll just spread them out like this. Just take your tortilla, fold it over, turn it over like that, and set them in your tray with the folded side down. Now what I'll do is I'll leave it there and I'll come back to you when I've done the rest, okay? So make sure you come back and join us and see the finished result. Okay people, we've now got all 8 beef enchiladas in the tray, okay? They fit absolutely beautifully, happen to have the right tray. And the next step is this sauce. And what you do is just run it up the middle like that. Okay. Again, we won't waste any. And look how beautiful that came out in that little blender, people. I mean, can you believe that little blender? Such a brilliant little thing. Can't believe I found it. It's absolutely amazing. Just get the back of a spoon and just gently work your sauce in to your enchiladas, beef enchiladas. Now this recipe, excuse me, is a real Mexican, you know, it's an authentic Mexican recipe. So this will be on the, you know, that will be on the fiery side, you know, that'll have a good bite to it. If you don't particularly like things too hot, my advice would be just, you know, tone it down a little bit, maybe just use a teaspoonful and a half of the mixture, the you know, of the spice mix that you saw me make up. Now, last but by no means least, you just put a generous topping of cheese, and that will go into an oven which I've got set at gas mark 6, gas mark 7, there or thereabouts, and that will go in for about 25 minutes to half an hour, and that will be absolutely delicious. And that will be your beautiful beef enchiladas. And I'll tell you what, if you make them, I say it in every video, but if you make them, you will make them again and again and again. Especially if you've got guests coming, make these for your guests, and I'll tell you, you'll be the talk of the steamy, as they say in Glasgow. A steamy is a laundrette, for those of you who are not little Scottish people. And years ago, everybody met up in the laundrette, and they would tell everybody's business, any scandal that was going on in the street. So there you go, people, there you are, beef enchiladas. Very authentic recipe, and they're going to get popped into the oven and they will be absolutely superb. So if you have been, thanks very much for watching, and I will just give you a quick, I'll come back quickly at the end and just show you them when they come out of the oven. So you know the score, go down, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, don't forget to subscribe, and everything's in the description. Thank you, bye bye for now. So here you are, people, the final part of this Mexican special on the vlog. And we're just about to have our tea with our friends Alex and Lorna. Say good evening, Alex and Lorna.
Hi.
And Alex has made fajitas because he's a very professional Mexican chef. He's known in Scotland as Ranchos Vandero. And that we've made the enchiladas, which are there and ready to eat. And we're all in our Mexican regalia. And we're going to have a very good evening. So we're going to leave it there, and you're going to go down and subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Or else I shall come round to your house, I shall slit your throat. Okay, amigo? Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next vlog. Bye-bye.